All right, man, this is exciting. This strays away a little bit from hip hop, which is always a fun thing for me. I'm tired of talking about rap all the time, so we're gonna talk about something different today, man. You guys are the Dads Against Predators.
Yes,
If I got
sir.
that
Yes,
right.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I watched a couple of your videos. This shit is insane. I never thought I'd meet people that are more dangerous than me. So this is very interesting. But you guys are Dads Against Predators, and essentially what you're doing is you're setting up people that are potentially pedophiles that are trying to reach out to younger children and whatnot and sexually exploit them. Is that the goal?
That's it in the package. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
For
So
sure.
talk about how the fuck this started in the first place.
Go ahead, man. You
Shit.
started it.
Shit. Well, really just watching Chris Hansen, the GOAT. You know what I mean? So it really started from that, and then we would watch him, and then a couple other people on YouTube, and then we're just like, man, I wonder if we could get anybody, because we both got three kids of our own. So and they're growing up, they're getting into those ages, and so we're like, man, we live in a town about Fremont, Ohio, about like
16,000.
Yeah, 16,000 people.
It's a small
so we're
town.
Like we want to, if we can get anybody.
Because you hear about guys like growing up, you hear like, oh, that dude did it, but like you never really know like the real story, what really happened. They be lying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we would just be watching YouTube together. We're like, yeah, I think we could do it. And then one night he calls me. He's like, yo, I made a grinder and I got this one dude. He says he wants to meet up at Walmart. I'm like, no
Easy.
way, man. No way.
Right away. As soon as I made it, you know what I mean?
And then I get over there. This man's he was drinking and shit. So I'm like, we can't do it. Like, we can't do our first one while you're drinking. So the next morning, he calls me. We're going to get the guy. His account got banned. So I made an account. I'm 13. Called the same guy he was talking to. His name was Raphael. And from there, I think we called like 2 more people in like that same day.
Yeah.
And then we ended up like on the news. And it was just crazy fast. And just...
We just seen how many predators that were really out there, and so once we realized that, we just had to keep going.
What are the nerves like knowing you're gonna go and face this person?
It's
They're
pretty
crazy.
nerve-wracking,
Yeah,
because you
it's
don't know if
pretty
they got a
crazy.
gun or whatever, but we're past that now.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, however you feel about it, like, excuse me, you're just going to do it. Like, you could be scared. Sometimes you're scared. Sometimes you're not scared, but you're just going to do it, Like, we've been in some crazy fucked up situations. Like, this one guy, like, walked us in a parking garage. What number is it? His name is Leo, D.A.P Leo or whatever. We called him at Tower City in Cleveland. And we're walking in the parking garage. We're just going deeper and deeper, like 10 minutes into this parking garage. There's no cars. And he takes off his hoodie. He's like, I was hoping there was more of you. We're like, what? And he's like, yeah, I was hoping there was more of you. I'm like, more of us? What are you talking about? He's like, because I came here to fight.
Oh shit.
And we're like,
Yeah.
all right. So my man started putting his shit down, because he's doing this dramatic, like, anime, like, I was hoping there was more of you. Like, thinking this motherfucker's about to John Wick us. I don't know what he's about to do, Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
And he squared up, and he threw the first punch. I mean, at that point, it's like, you say you want to fight, boom, I let him. I'm recording the whole time. You can find this fight on Patreon, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm recording this whole time, and he taps his ass out. That's like the best way, like, to kind of end the shit. Like, we've had to leave him, like, we've been in fights where he's at, like, we both had to, like, leave him bleeding sometimes and stuff. But that's like, we don't really want to do that, So like,
Objective to go whoop their ass, but if you
no,
do it, right?
because why would we bring a video camera if that was the objective, But just sometimes we got to protect ourselves, So he ended up got him in a nice chokehold, tapped him out, made him say I quit and shit. And
What's the name of this episode so I can reel that in?
that catch Leo.
Leo.
Yeah.
Leo.
And he's in the army, and like that stuff's going through, like, it's like that video is going through, like, you were in the army. How does that work? Where it goes to, like, they got their own little army police
Oh,
thing.
they got everybody, the whole council and stuff.
They got, like, it's like an Indian reservation type deal where they got their own little court and stuff that they go through.
Military tribunal over and stuff. He's probably gonna get Article 15 at a bare minimum.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah,
Protect their
so
force.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's crazy. So pretty much like you ruined his. I mean, he didn't ruin his. He ruined his own career, but you guys helped exploit the fact that what the fuck this guy is doing.
and that's
He was there to meet an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
And he's saying
11-year-old,
nasty
yeah.
shit. And so, I mean, he's got to be dealt with.
What was the crazy out there? That's what you guys.
Exactly.
So coming back to the news being the thing that kind of probably sparked it all for you guys, that's what gave you guys the most exposure initially, right? So talk about how the fuck they figured out about you guys and how they kind of addressed the situation.
It was like I said, we're from Fremont, Ohio. It was like a big deal. Like something like that happened in there. I mean, the only thing we got in Fremont, Ohio is Charles Woods is from there, the GOAT, and Rutherford B. Hayes. Other than that, we got like a big boy and a Walmart like everybody else. You know what I mean? Nothing special. So like that was like big news, and just the fact that it was so many so fast. It wasn't like one. It was boom, boom, boom. And then we just never really looked back. We caught like 30-something people in our hometown. Like,
yeah, you guys are countrywide right now. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've been California, Texas, Florida,
and then with
Indiana, all those in between.
With the police, you know, they stepped in and they said something, so they made it even bigger.
They had like a press conference where they like told us to stop. And
the police didn't like what you guys were doing?
No, the police didn't like it, but I was like talking shit. Like I was like, because they were saying there was nothing they could do. Like, oh, we can't use these cases, da da da. But later on, I worked in a town called Woodville with the police, and we've gotten plenty of arrests, up to 11 convictions. So like, our own hometown was like just kind of being like, just being bitches about it, really. To be like, they just didn't like how people were talking, because I was talking shit like, how come you've never done this? You know what I mean? It's this bad. Like, we're just we were literally rookies. We never did this shit before, and it was fishing in a bucket. You know what I mean? And they still didn't do anything for another like 12 months. They finally started catching guys, and they caught like 7 guys in a weekend. And it's just the fact that like they do this whole thing. It's the drug war, like in like where we're from. So like they're all their money and all their stuff goes to like the drug task force and stuff like that, and no attention goes to like kids. And there's kids getting molested. Like every 9 seconds, a child gets molested in the United States. You know what I mean? And if it's this bad on the internet, think of how bad it is like in real life. I mean, we all know at least 2 or 3 people that's been molested, and that's just by people that are even willing to speak up and admit it. You know what I mean? There's tons of more people that ain't willing to even do that.
Right on.
So
I know, I personally know plenty of people that have been in situations they never wanted to be a part of, and it's actually like hurt them emotionally, mentally, scarred them like permanently. Like some people never forget about that shit. So obviously it's a huge fucking deal. There's a lot of reasons why it's a huge fucking deal to stop these motherfuckers from doing this shit. But going back to Chris Hansen, obviously this is the inspiration kind of. Like this is the guy you guys
he's the Michael Jordan. Like.
He's the Michael Jordan of this shit, right? So Chris Hansen, so you guys are watching it and it's just like, I want to fucking do that. Like this is the move right now. For
like
sure.
We would watch it as like kids. It was always me and him too. Like we've been friends since like 7th grade. So like we would watch it as kids and like be like, this is like funny. Like, because that's some of the first stuff that's going on YouTube. Because I think when it was on TV, I really wasn't watching it. So I'm watching like the YouTube episodes of it. Yeah. And like we would laugh, but like when we started getting mad, like later on, like once we had kids, we're like, oh shit, like it started dawning on us what's really happening. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this guy brought pizza, like he thinks he's about to meet a little kid, look, he's stuttering, but like really it was like,
now we got
what
daughters.
If that's my kid, like, and this motherfucker's smug ass is in there, like, like, I said that, but like,
and then Chris Hansen stopped doing what he was doing.
That's why it's dads against predators, because that's like how we're coming at this shit. Like, what if it's my kid? Chris Hansen's doing like a job.
So that's fucking hilarious. So you guys get inspired by this TV show. The guy stops doing it. You guys pretty much take over. But now your shit, I watched the episode with Chris, the guy at the hotel that you guys stopped. And it's very raw and gritty. Like, there is no fucking, like, cameras in the back just, like, filming and lavalier microphones. It's literally just like, yo, my camera is in your fucking face right now. Right. What the fuck's going on? Right. And then, obviously, in that episode in particular, like, you were yelling around saying, yo, this guy's here to meet an 11-year-old boy. I'm sorry, it was like a 13-year-old boy. And then there was a few people that actually, well, fuck this guy. There was like a lady that was like screaming like, fuck this guy, which was shocking to me because I felt like what you guys were doing in a sense was like kind of a nuisance. Not to say, because if you're looking from the outside, like, what the fuck are these guys doing, yelling and saying that this guy's a fucking child molester and like there's no evidence, there's no kid here, but you were still getting support. Like this one lady was like, oh, fuck you, I have kids and all this shit. And I was like, Why do they believe you guys? Like,
because you can feel the energy.
right.
Yeah, they figure out pretty
Like it's
quick.
different on video, like but like when you see that shit in real life, like, and they know.
You can tell when the dude's squirming, like, no. You know what I mean?
Like-
Can't make eye
lying and
contact 'cause
shit.
they're like physically embarrassed.
Yeah.
like,
Or they're like,
and
that's
that's
not
what
me.
I do to like. That's
Lying
why
and
we
shit.
do it to him because, like, I need people to know about you, and this is gonna be your worst nightmare. This is like waking up in school naked. You know what I mean? Like, this is you want to be a pedophile? You're gonna be a pedophile out loud.
Right.
You know what I mean? And yeah, it's like that. That is like I cause a scene. Like I talk, we can talk about it. We can cause a scene, and not a lot of people are like willing to do that. You know, and I'm not this like loud and crazy guy. Like I'm kind of like shy. So like it's kind of just I have like a switch where I'm like able to just do that.
Turn
you
up
know?
on them.
Right.
So
We've
now-
caught
People's gonna
bad
know.
guys, like really bad guys. Like our catch number 9, he was like a 7th grade wrestling coach. He owned a driving school. He was a Boy Scout. He was a Boy Scout guy, and he worked at the Catholic Church. Like he was the whole rigmarole. And like we caught him trying to meet a 13-year-old boy, and he ended up killing himself
Oh man.
before the video came out.
Oh
Like,
man.
so but there's like a lot of stuff I can say about that, like off camera, but like, oh shoot, the video's still going. But that, like, stuff that came out about him after like that happened is like crazy. And like what happened like with your video, I don't know if you want to
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, I mean, I was sexually molested when I was a kid, and I got a video, Jay's story. I think it's like a video.
Yeah.
But my dude, as soon as we posted, he killed himself too.
Oh my
So, I mean,
goodness.
and then when the video came out, then about like 6-7 other people came out too. So just all these guys, once we catch them, there's people that message us and say, he did this, he did that.
Over like 60, I'd say confidently, like over 60% of the guys we catch, we get messages about like, oh yeah, he's been doing this to me, like he did this to so and so, like
Right.
all the time, or they literally just are convicted. We just caught a massage therapist in Lexington, Kentucky. So couldn't get that out. That's one of the recent videos. We got to keep reposting it because he was getting taken down. He was talking actually sexually with a 13-year-old girl. I wanted her to come get a massage at this massage parlor.
So we pulled up to the spot.
And that was in March when we caught him. We did the whole little rigmarole, like in there, like made a scene, like in his job, like
Told his managers and everything.
told the managers and everything. They seen everything. Gave stuff to the police, right? In July, he raped a woman in that massage parlor. She was 9 months pregnant, and it's like you can look up Lexington rape and like massage parlor, and it's like on the news everywhere right now. And we caught that guy in March, but nothing was done about it because some people don't take the shit seriously. And then he ended up raping a woman, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At that same massage parlor where
Now-
we caught him at.
Now the cities you guys get involved in, do you guys talk to the police beforehand? Is there any like, do you have a reputation now where people know where you guys are about?
There's no, because we can't be like, okay, we could try to catch this guy because, just for instance, like today we drove, like we were supposed to catch somebody at like a mall, and we drove there and we like waited for him for like 30-45 minutes inside the mall, and then he's just doing like some fake games. There's like a lot of guys that you don't catch, so it's like the police don't want us wasting their time, and I kind of so it'd be like a lot of wasted time, you know, if I'm just keep calling the police.
Well, no, more so what I'm saying is, do you have a reputation with the departments as far as like, oh, these guys are the real deal. This is probably a serious case. Let's go check it out. Or are you guys always all over the map so you can't really keep up with that department?
Yeah, I mean, it really just ends up being we either write some statements and and we send all the stuff into email, turn the video in or whatever, and then whatever happens, and then stuff pops up. Like the guy we caught in Chicago, Jerome. I can't remember the catch. So D.A.P catch Jerome. He just got charged like a year later with child porn because they were able to look through his shit because of this. So like
he popped up on their radar because of
yeah, and like if we catch I don't know why I'm even holding this. If we catch like guys that are on the list, like they get violated and stuff like that. So there's always like avenues that fuck them up. They always lose their job. Like that's like usually what happens in the massage parlor. That's the crazy thing that didn't happen. And like those are almost the consequences of letting those like known scary people work at where you work. You know what I mean?
So you post the massage parlor video, and how many people see it and engage with it and still nothing? Because
I mean, we get like that video's been posted like 3-4 times.
But initially when it got posted, like nothing happened. Like there wasn't, because usually you know how like if you say something about a restaurant, like this restaurant's racist, then the next day like everybody goes on Yelp and like fucks the place up.
We tried to. I never even said the name of the place.
Oh,
like,
okay.
and I was careful not even to do it now. I know the name of the place, but like, I should say it now. But I ain't trying to get in no legal trouble. They be like talking shit on their Facebook about like. Because they're mad that we made the video and people actually found out about it. They're getting fucked up. And they're like talking shit on their Facebook. But we never said anything about them. So that's kind of... like you got to play it safe with stuff like that at the end of the day. But it's kind of their fault though. You know?
Yeah,
no, I hear you.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
Yeah, the responsibility is insane, obviously, right? Because there's no, like law-abiding citizens, obviously. That's what you pretty much you are. You're like law-abiding citizens to a degree where it's like you're going after sexual predators. And I think the hardest part about it is you can do all of this work, and at the end of the day, nothing can happen. Like this guy doesn't go to jail. This guy doesn't. Nobody even knows about this. But you guys are exposing that. Like you guys, regardless if this guy goes to prison or not, this guy's reputation, like we said earlier, is on the line, and it's over now. And everybody knows, stay the fuck away from this guy. Right. His Facebook's probably deleted the next day. Like he doesn't want none of that shit. Your fans are fucking loyal, right? So the people who follow you guys are like super fucking loyal.
We do no clickbait. Like, so you're not gonna find our videos like it's not gonna like pop up on some like we don't do any of that clickbait. It's like titled like that catch this number this guy, you know what I mean? So like we almost got 100,000 subscribers and they're like super loyal. They're not like cheese subscribers, you know? Like a lot of channels will get like a lot of views and then not like there's other predator catcher channels, like, so we're not the only guys that do this. So like, but we've been able to just kind of build it slowly and just organically and like just kind of kept it like it's been like the best kept secret, I guess. Like people always find out. Like you find out. That's why we were like kind of like we do like a little tour. We drove from Fremont, Ohio to Denver, Colorado, and caught like in every city. Like on the way, it was like Route 80, I think, is what it was. Right. Iowa City, we caught this woman named Beth, and was our first World Star video, and that kind of like blew us up to like be like kind of nationwide. We were kind of just more Ohio and stuff.
Run through that from like the top to the bottom, the whole experience with her.
Damn. But, so like her just you'd have to watch like her facial expressions. She's like
I'm gonna play the
Jim
put the
Carrey.
video, but I want you to just brief it like as far as like the beginning to end of like how that situated.
Oh man, why don't you do this one because Beth is.
Well, we don't get too many girls, you know, so it's usually a guy, but a lot of cases when we do catch a girl, I mean we've caught a few girls since by now, but they usually are trying to get the girl for their husband or something. That's like the thing, and so she's down there and
she just wanted to wipe the phone. Yeah,
when we pull up, we're kind of wondering like, you know, is this real? Like we're kind of, you know, looking around and we see her and she's standing out there and then boom,
smoking a cigarette.
Her first initial reaction was, you know, her lie, because obviously when the girl got there, who knows what would have happened? Who knows what she would have did with the girl? You know what I mean? But her little lie was, I was just gonna wipe the phone, and she's doing all these little weird facial expressions, whatever.
She's like literally like the female Jim Carrey, and that shit. Yeah. Like
she's funny.
That shit was crazy. It got like 500,000 views on World Star in a day. Yeah. And like,
and so she stuck with her little lie, and then I mean we kind of just walked her back into the hotel. We wanted her husband to come down, and so we're trying to go in there and get her husband to come down, whatever. And then she just walked back up, and we take off, and then I mean once that, I think that's at like 700 right now. So I mean that's our biggest video.
Oh, that's at like 800,000.
Does it have a description of who she is? Do people know who she is? Like, did people say I know that person?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like people know everybody. Like it gets there. Like the big thing is like sharing it in Facebook groups because everybody everybody like got
They gonna
the
shout out
Facebooks
where they work at.
Yeah, everybody
You know what I mean?
ends up
Everybody.
finding out. Like if you get a video, they end up finding out quick
Yeah.
too.
What do you think these people end up doing after they get exposed and all that stuff? How do you think their life kind of pans out? Do you know any history? Like, okay, this guy's doing this now. Like he had this job at he was a lawyer, and then now suddenly he works like at McDonald's or something like that. Or
I do know. Yeah, people write me and kind of update like, hey, did you know he's still like here or he's working here now? And I'm like, because then it's just like I don't know. It's just now it's like a big old responsibility. So like I don't know what to do at that point. Like we kind of just be like trying to be on to the next guy. You know what I mean?
You're not worried about what the fuck this guy is doing now.
Yeah,
like,
we gotta be on.
You don't care about the fact you didn't want to fuck his life up. What it really is you're just trying to get this guy.
Get
off
your
the street,
people,
or get him the fuck
your,
off of here. Like, get him off of these apps and stop
you,
these predators.
If
from
you're
doing
bringing
this shit in
kids
the first
around
place.
this dude, like keep your family around that guy, like keep that dude away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
what
like a deterrent for other people who are wanting to do this shit. Like, wait, I just saw that YouTube video. These people getting fucked up. Kind of talk about the process of how you learn to lure these people in, because it's probably not easy. I mean, there's a lot of these guys are probably like on their toes. Like, all right, this is probably a fucking
it's
cop.
hard. Yeah, it's hard. You gotta have like a really good decoy. If you ain't got a lot of people kind of try to do this, but there's like, what's like the levels of going to like outer space? Like there's like things you have to have, you know what I mean, to get to each part of like catching. You know what I mean? Like they want personalized pictures. So like if you just like take like somebody's pictures off Instagram and like try to use them, like that ain't gonna work. You have to have like a person that like looks younger. That it can't be underage. You don't want to have like pictures of kids in your phone. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like of age people, and then there's like filters. There's like an app called Face App. Like we've used that, and I could show you pictures where you look like 13-year-old, 12-year-old kids. I called a guy in Texas where I posed as an 8-year-old boy, and I told him I was gonna send him a Christmas card, and he did he was very nasty in the chats and shit. He's like a 55-year-old man, and I told him I was gonna send him a Christmas card, and he gave me his address, and I popped up on him in Texas. And caught him right in his house.
What? So how did that pan out? How did that?
He lived with his sister and her husband, and they kicked him out, and we ended up driving him to the police station, and we dropped him off, and we just dropped him off to the police station. He didn't have no phone. Like I was like, oh shit, we're gonna get in trouble for this. I was collabing with this guy Alex, and he's like live streaming. He agreed to get in the car. We were like, we're gonna take you to jail, Roy. And he's like, all right.
He agreed. What the fuck?
We're gonna take you to jail, Roy. He's like, all right. And I'm like, we ain't forcing you. I was like big into like, hey, we ain't forcing you to do this. He's like, nope.
I'm going to jail.
Yeah. All right. So we took him to the police station. They're like, what is this?
I want to keep track of that one. What's the name of this guy?
Roy.
Roy. And remember what episode?
I don't. If you just look up D.A.P. Roy, you'll get it for sure.
Okay.
And we dropped him off at the police station, and I fly back the next day from Texas, and I'm at the airport, and I get a call from Houston Homicide, and they're like, Roy, we haven't seen Roy. Do you know where he's at? I'm like, no. Yeah, so there's like scary shit like that, like Houston Homicide. But that was a while ago.
Do you guys fear for your lives at all, or do you just like fuck it? Like if these guys are gonna come back for me, they're gonna come back for me.
Oh, I'm trying
Sometimes,
to be safe. I mean,
shit.
you gotta watch the hands. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like some fucking Bruce Lee.
But they're all
guy or
pussies
something.
though.
Like,
You know,
they're usually winners. Nobody comes to think it's a setup.
Yeah.
Like nobody's actually like. If you think it's we make it really good. You know, back to the point of like a decoy. Like you gotta have personalized pictures. Like they'll ask for a lot of crazy shit. So like you gotta be able to provide that, and they'll come.
Yeah.
You know.
There's
How
one.
long does it usually take?
It could take like. It could take it. You could catch a guy in like 2 hours. We've caught a guy in like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
You made the poll. You're on Grindr.
Yeah,
You accept
boom.
the match or whatever.
Yeah,
The fuck.
want to hang out? Would you care that I'm 13? No, where are you at? And for me, I'm like, oh, this is easy money. Like, I don't even need more chat logs for you. Like, all right, why are you trying to meet a 13-year-old kid? Because that's what I don't really care, like, what's legal and what's not legal, because what I'm doing is legal. So, like, for me, like you're trying to meet up with a 13-year-old kid. I don't give a fuck what you're gonna talk about. Sports, you know.
The first message could be like, I'm 13, and they might be like, oh, okay, well, send me a picture with 2 fingers up, so I know that you're actual 13-year-old. And then you give them that picture, and they may be like, okay, where you at? I'll come pick you up.
Jeez.
Just like that.
Jeez.
Yeah, if you give them what they want, because there are these like internet people, you like, and you just gotta be a character. You know, I'm never a different person, or else you get lost. Like if you start telling too many stories, like. Cause you're talking to like, we go and like catch trips. So like we'll go stay at an Airbnb or something and just for like 14, 16 hours a day, just be on our phones, like pretending to be my girl. I ain't gonna say my girl's name, but like I'm that person and my circumstances are always the same. You know what I mean? And I know what most of the time I know what they're gonna say before they say it. You know what I mean? And it's kind of just. It's pretty good at it now.
Well, yeah,
like,
you've done it so many fucking times.
You know what I mean?
Right? I mean, the first one was probably nerve-wracking, obviously, and throughout time, you guys are getting more comfortable doing it and stuff. So, like I said, your fan base is huge. I looked at your Instagram and I was like, this fucking engagement's insane. Like, at first I didn't know what you guys were about or what was going on. Then I go to the YouTube and I'm seeing just fucking hundreds of thousands of views, which makes me think, like, if somebody fucks up, if you guys catch this guy, your guys are capable of shutting somebody. It's like a push of a button. Like, we can fucking end you pretty much.
I always think it's a fucked up shit where I could honestly, like, say somebody's name on, like, Facebook and not even... They just drop a name and not even say anything. And like, oh shit, I knew it about that motherfucker. Yeah. Like it's fucked up, but like you know,
you have a huge responsibility though. At the end of the day, so that's crazy. Yeah. Have you guys ever? I mean, I'm sure this has never happened. Have you ever made a mistake? Have you ever been like, oh, this guy actually was just fucking weird?
No.
It's always been like, okay, this
you always have to. That's the number one rule is it's got to be the right guy. So that's why we're real careful. What we ended up learning is like as careful as they try to be not getting caught is as careful as we have to be with knowing who the fuck this dude is for sure, you know. So like that's why I started turning that shit on their fucking head. Like send me a picture with you with 3 fingers up, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like I'm tired of fucking doing what they say. Now they're gonna do what I say because you're talking to a kid. You know what I mean? So,
like I always got my dudes. I always make them go to the pop section. So like you'll see your dude in the pop section like standing all weird and shit. You know what I mean? That's how you don't miss. That's how you don't fuck up.
I take my dudes to the milk. You know what I mean? I try to take them to the longest point. You know what I mean? So we can have the longest walk back.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Thought that shit through. You really thought that shit through. Yeah.
That's why I took old dude to the fucking food court because I want the
you want his ass hobbling out like on some funny shit.
The demographic wise, as far as your fan base, did you find that there's a city that really stands out and knows you guys the most, or is it like pretty much all over the map right now?
It's really crazy. I mean, it's like we got a lot of fans. Like I think our fan base is like 80% United States, and we got like a 20% like overseas.
States wise though, like is there a certain state that pops out, or they're all kind of just evened out now?
It's like almost evened out for the most part.
Besides like Ohio.
I mean, like you always see our Ohio people in there, but like in the live chat and like.
You guys got Detroit experiences yet? Have you guys got anybody over here?
Not like in Detroit yet, but that's what we're trying to do.
Lakeside was like one of the ones out of how many of them?
I mean, do we count those? Like
Lakeside? Yeah, I mean, no, I'm talking about Michigan, whatever.
Yeah, I mean Detroit area. I mean, we've caught about like 6-8 guys in Detroit area.
Jesus.
Yeah, but I want to get some like Detroit guys.
We got strip clubs, so usually, you know.
we come late night, we gonna tear them up, huh?
You guys ever over Fisher City? Like over, like do it too much?
Yeah.
Our hometown. You know what I mean? People.
They quieted up about it, didn't they?
Yeah, you'll have still predators out there be like, I bet this is that. But they want to talk and they still want the pictures and stuff because they like the little fantasy of it.
You think there's predators that know about that?
Oh yeah. Plenty, man, plenty. Yeah,
we got a dude that we were fucking hanging. That was like in our hometown. We grew up with. His name's Travis. I think that's catch 100, and he knew about us. Like
he took us to hotels
and shit. He knows about all the catches, and I caught him. He said some weird. Shit. He said some weird shit one time. He's like he he was a little weird dude, but he was. But we grew up with him, and he was kind of cool. So Josh invited him to like a Super Bowl party one night, and he said the wrong shit, and I was like, man, I'm about to catch this dude.
No, he said he was sleeping with. He was messing with this girl who used to sleep in diapers.
Yeah, some crazy shit, right?
And we were like, man, what?
I was like, I'm about to catch your ass.
We're like, did you like it? He's like, well, I kind of like the innocence of it. And we're like, wait, what?
He said the wrong shit.
Red flag.
And then I ended up, like, he ended up popping up when we were like 45 minutes away. He thought because, you know, the girl was far away, it probably wasn't us or something. And then boom, we ended up catching him. And the whole, like, I think one time he's trying to be safe, like get her to send a picture, and he was like, I don't know, since D.A.P's around, yada
He was
yada.
speaking about us in third person, like he didn't know us. That was the weird thing, and that was him talking to him the whole time. And he would give me updates. I'm like, no way. He's doing this. He's just joking. Yeah. I'm thinking like, he's about to say like, I know it's you.
Hell
but
no,
he never did.
That's fucking crazy. So these guys are like, at first, you know, Chris Hansen's obviously, you're waiting for that shit, right? So you're going, back in the day, you're like pulling out, like Chris Hansen might pull out in this motherfucker. But now it's like D.A.P might be pulling out. But do you guys uniform when you go there? Do you guys make it known like who the fuck you are or what's going on? Or is it just like they don't know until you really establish it? Like, yo, we are those guys.
I mean, we usually got the shirts on for the most part in the videos, but like, I mean, I'm trying to say it in the video, like we're dads against predators. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're just scrambling to think of a lie and shit.
Yeah. What's the highest viewed video so far?
I think Beth.
The World Star one.
We've had like 5 World Star ones, but Beth is like the highest viewed one for sure.
As far as YouTube is concerned, on your own page, which one popped off?
What you mean?
Like
Beth for sure.
For on YouTube too?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, Beth for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, TikTok was like what's his name? Michael dude. Yeah, that shit was fun.
Walk through that one.
Which one?
The TikTok one. What did he say? He was like, first when we initially came up on him, Josh asked him a question. He was like, "You want to die?" And Josh was like, "What'd you say, motherfucker?" He was like, "Stop!" Like he flipped. He just flipped instantly.
He said, "You want to die to me?" Yeah.
He said some slick shit.
Yeah.
And then he instantly
himself
changed.
on the ground. And
what was his story? What the fuck was this guy about?
He was trying to get a boy off Grindr, a 13-year-old boy, take him in the backyard, do some.
Michael, catch 103. That's got 260.
Yeah, he was trying to fuck a little boy, and he was on some weird shit. And he made us, like, he walked down a sidewalk, walked him down a sidewalk and shit, and then he eventually stopped, like, cause he got tired and shit, and then he ended up telling us about like child porn, that he had child porn, like he ended up giving shit up, you know what I mean, just cause he's fucking dumb as hell.
Yeah.
And just we're asking him questions and shit.
Did the police end up getting involved with that one?
No.
Oh shit.
That one I think that was in Ohio, and we knew in that area that like some areas we go in, like in Columbus, and they'll just separate you. They ain't gonna do nothing about it.
They don't want the screenshots. Like,
they don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah, so no use in some areas.
You think it's because they don't want to deal with like the fact that there's so many like loopholes or like legal battles that come with the process?
I think it's ultimately down to like the judge or something. You know what I mean? Like whoever.
And kind of in my view is just what we're doing. Like what even if they're guilty of that, they'll get like a slap on the wrist, like fine, and then like a non-reporting probation or something like that. You know what I mean? Because there's not an actual real child. So like to actually get in trouble, there has to be a real victim, or else it's just little fucking petty little fucking crimes. You know what I mean? And then they can always lie. Nobody has the screenshots to see. You know what I mean? Like of them getting caught by the police, of their little court documents, what they actually said. But like with us, like you can't lie. Like you can't lie, and we're showing.
I guess that's why Chris Hansen's was so effective, because you get there and there is a kid there, and so that kind of like confirms it beyond belief that like you were here to fuck a kid, no matter what you say. So I guess that's what takes his like to the next level, where it's like that guy's going to jail for sure. I'll never forget there was one with a doctor, man. It was with Chris Hansen, and he was like running away, And I just remember seeing in his eyes, he was like, it's all over, dude. Like, my career is over, bro. Like, bro, because a doctor, man, think about how long you worked to get to that position, and then you fucked it all up because you wanted to sleep with a kid. You know what I mean? Like, it's all over.
You
Like,
see the energy just drain. You feel it and
Oh,
you
yeah.
see it. It's just
there's no
see
coming
it.
back from it. You know what I mean? There's no coming back from it. So you guys have gotten into altercations, like physical altercations and stuff. Run over one of those, one of the videos that happens with, and start from the beginning till what happened and how it led to that.
Shit, like just one in particular.
Yeah, one in
just
particular,
well, one he was there to meet like a 13-year-old boy, typical shit. And I was pretending to be the boy. I was sitting down like in a slide in a slide position.
I forgot about this video.
And so he like came up to me and like to get me because I was a little, you know what I mean? I'm in like a little, and I was like, surprise, motherfucker. You know what I mean? I was like, surprise, motherfucker. And then Josh comes out, you know, he's like, you know, so he instantly starts to try to go walk back in his apartment complex, and I'm in his face. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? I'm questioning him, whatever. And he grabs my phone and just tosses my shit.
He tosses it.
And he tossed my shit too clean. As soon as he tossed my shit, I just started beating his ass, and he started taking off, and I was just fucking his ass up.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
goodness.
And then, but not till we, you
Now,
know,
if you
fucked
beat their
up.
ass,
But
it's harder for the police to get involved, obviously. So you kind of just let it go, but just expose
Yeah.
the shit out of him or whatever.
Yeah.
right.
Because you don't want to get into the legal battle. But the cops aren't gonna fuck you up either. They're not like, bro,
Right.
you guys are doing the right
At
thing.
the
I
end of the
did-
day, it's just like it's a little bar fight, you know.
No, yeah. The cops aren't. They don't want to get involved in that shit.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
like, you guys are doing the right thing. This guy's a piece of shit, but we're just gonna stay out of this one.
Right.
I did have one altercation with another, like he was like an older man. He threw my phone in the snow, and I
shit.
started
wasn't
fucking
even
his
in
ass
town
up.
for this.
I beat him up and shit, and he was bleeding everywhere, and it was right in like Sylvania.
He was an old man too. How old was he?
He was 55, but he was a good shape 55. You know what I mean?
Cane and shit. He's like walking all slow.
But
I wasn't there for that one.
55's not that bad. Though. So he
Yeah.
was like 55. Okay.
Yeah, and the cops came right away, and like they were like, "You got this old man bleeding." I was like, "He threw my phone and shit," and then he didn't want to press charges because he was there to meet a 13-year-old girl. So, you know what I mean? Nothing happened.
Yeah.
So I mean, shit like that happens too.
And then you post that shit though, and then obviously he gets fucked up by society.
Yeah,
Everybody else
exactly.
around.
We still post it.
Yeah.
We just cut that part out and put it on Patreon.
Yeah, man. Shit, man. Like at the end of the day, these guys get fucked either way. It's crazy as fuck, man. There's no guilt, obviously. Like, has there ever been a situation where it's like, God damn, this guy might have just made a mistake this fucking day? Yeah. Do you ever like look?
There's
back,
been,
Yeah, there's
We
like
caught-
a 19-year-old.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a 19-year-old dude that we caught, but we didn't catch him. We was working with a group who wanted to be like a undergroup. I thought we was talking about the dude at Kalahari.
Shit, him too.
Also, there's a couple of guys you felt bad for after.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this dude at Kalahari, he was 19. He brought his friend. Well, his friend brought him on vacation, and he like, we was working with a group that wanted to be like an undergroup or sister group or some shit like whatever like that. They were called D.A.P 419, so they were like the Toledo type deal, and they wanted us to go with them. And I didn't know it was 15. Their decoy was 15. We don't use 15. That's a little bit. It's still a kid though. You know what I mean? And it's still illegal. Like if he would have sex with her, it's still like super illegal. 'Cause
He
he'd be
knew
19
he was
and
doing
15.
something wrong.
Yeah, it was super wrong still. And we kind of did him a favor actually. Like how I kind of almost look at it. But he was 19 and he brought his friend, but didn't tell his friend how old the girls were and shit. So it was like this whole big situation. His friends pissed at him.
He's like, tell him
And-
you're 18. Tell my friends you're 18.
Yeah, he was doing that shit, and I don't know, 19 and 15, like that's bad. But I don't want to be like, I don't think he might learn his lesson. You know what I mean? And he's wrote me and talked to me, and I think he's really apologized, and he said like, I don't know. I think he learned his lesson. So I'm thinking about deleting his video.
So
possibly.
you still posted it. You didn't. So it was like.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's still
yeah.
getting posted.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
he still fucked his ass up. But is there anybody you did it, and then you were like, you didn't end up posting it just because you're like,
No.
okay, yeah. So you guys are, yeah, man, that's fucking some serious shit. But listen, 19's still fucking, dude. 19, 15 is still pretty bad, bro. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, it's
yeah.
illegal at the end of the day.
it's illegal. You know.
Yeah, that
But
shit
it's
ain't
always
cool.
worse when it's like an old ass guy who knows better. At least when you're 19,
Yeah.
you're still a stupid ass kid. But when you're like, you're fucking catching these old guys.
Oh, old dudes like 50s and
Terry.
What's been like the has there been anybody, I hate to say these words, but like at a certain position like or of power that you guys have caught, or like anybody, like maybe somebody in the government or somebody that has like a higher stature?
Priests, stuff like that.
Anything
I
like-
mean, a couple guys from the army. That Richard Broman dude was he was like high in the Catholic Church. I don't think he was a priest, but like he was a big guy in the Catholic Church with he'd owned his own driving school, so he's just like surrounding himself with kids.
Yeah.
We just exposed this. Well, we helped a dude. So a dude watched his video, Logan, from our hometown. Watched Jay's video called Jay's Story on YouTube or whatever, and he wanted to confront his predator, and his predator is like this, like dispatcher, in our hometown or whatever for the state police. So he caught him up going out of church, and that's like one of the that video made me cry because he's like, nobody was there to protect me because the church is like, stop, and he was paying him and his two little brothers to like suck his dick and horrible stuff, and just like he was saying it to him, he's like, not here, we're not gonna do this here, and just was like the people in the church were like ushering it back in, and just Logan's just screaming like nobody was there to protect me, and it's just it's super powerful. It's like one of the most, and he says like seeing his video gave him like wanted him to like gave him the thought to do that is just like, damn, we're like, that's crazy that I was kind of a part of something like that, you know what I mean? Even
sure.
Third hand, because it's really him, you know what I mean? He did his video by himself. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So just like being just a part of like this is just crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because I'm sure even for the victims, like it's a moment of like justice, because like nobody ever listened to them, maybe, or maybe they just this guy's walking around but he fucking molested me or whatever, and then you catch the motherfucker and it's like, finally there's justice, like somebody had my back, you know what I mean? Like going through all that shit your whole life, bro, and then like nobody believing you or listening to you or giving a fuck, and then finally you guys come in like superheroes. You guys are fucking superheroes at the end of the fucking day, you know what I mean? Has there been any moments where you guys have considered stopping, or like this is going too far now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bunch of times earlier. He's been had stuff. I get like, oh shit, like this one was too far. Like we went too far this time.
Yeah.
No, but like I always say, just I can't go to sleep like not doing this and knowing there's guys out there doing this. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like I almost, now that I'm good at it, I feel like I have a responsibility to do it at this point. And just with like how we're with like the little ad revenue that we get, because a lot of our videos don't get monetized, and like people donate and buy T-shirts and stuff like that, we're able to do this like full time.
Oh, awesome, man.
So like I feel like we have an obligation to those people to keep doing it, you know?
Yeah, man. Obviously too, because if you get to do this for a living, I mean, that's a fucking blessing, bro. You know what I mean? Making productions in general too is just like, I know for you guys, obviously it goes deeper than that. It goes very, very deeper than that. But being able to create content and getting paid for it or his support is insane.
Creating the D.A.P song, like,
oh, yeah.
we have like, if you go through our
Yeah,
comments, just it's the lyrics of our song, like D.A.P gonna find you, like, just like we share that with the fans, like it's so crazy. Like I like wrote that song, you know what I mean? Like I didn't sing it or nothing. My buddy Terrence did, but like that's crazy to just people like support like the song, the T-shirts.
Yeah,
like it's just wild to interact with people like that, and that we never thought any of that was gonna happen. Like a cool Instagram with people like the YouTube comments, like it's cool.
Yeah.
You know, like we never even thought of that stuff.
For you guys right now, are you guys planning? So this is my only thing was not like to put anything on it, but my only thing was production wise. I was always thinking like, because like in some of the videos, like it starts off with you guys walking and you just see feet for like forever. You guys ever think about maybe getting some motherfuckers behind the cameras or getting some lavaliers?
See, it's like it's that they always talk about my shoes, so like I'm always trying to get some. Like I got these like. A girl
like
made these D.A.P shoes for me, and it says "Excuse me, everybody." On this one.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then like the D.A.P thing on this one. And it's like, yeah. So like, they always like my cool shoes, so I like
Everybody
try
trying to
to
stunt.
before we go for a catch. I'm like, oh shit, which ones haven't I try to mix them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't got like too many, but like,
And we're going
I
on
make
our
it look
time.
I make it look like I got a few. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
what-
always there in the comments like, oh, Josh got the coolest shoes. So like, it's kind of in the kind of that thing, and also. Yeah, I can edit that part out, but like I think it also builds a little bit of suspense.
It does. That's the thing. The anticipation.
Because you're just like,
is
what?
there.
What? Come on, come on. Oh, there he is. You know what I mean?
You hear
I think
chattering
I like
between
that
you two.
part.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
he's
it's kind of
oh,
just
where's that?
like,
Where's- yeah, it's like,
it's
yeah.
kind of behind the scenes a little bit of like what we're going through. Because I think it's always funny we be in there just like doing fake, like at the mall today. We're like looking for him and we're like, oh yeah, over here.
Taco Bell over
Yeah,
there. Right?
there's a Taco Bell over there, but we're really looking for this guy in a gray Columbia jacket and a gray button up. You know what I mean? But we gotta look like we're not. You know what I mean?
Blending in with like a newspaper.
Right.
Yeah. No, yeah, I do like it because it is as raw as it gets, basically. Because when you're holding the camera, I guess it does give us the sensations, like what the fuck you're going through, not just what the fuck this guy's about to go through that you're gonna confront, but you guys as well.
And I think the audio is just way better that way.
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of people use like the GoPros and stuff like
The
that.
lavaliers, they just hook them on and stuff.
Yeah, but just the audio gets trash like that. So like,
Well, yeah, I mean, I see
What-
what it is.
you,
No, it's cool.
you probably know more than me, but I
no,
just kind of like
I think if you
like
got
it
a
my
third-
way, obviously.
No, yeah, I fuck with your way. I just think if you got that third motherfucker somewhere hiding in that,
That's
bitch,
what we've always thought about that. You know what I mean?
For sure, though, bro. I
We always-
guarantee it. It's just gonna help because it's easier to follow. But you guys are obviously it's intriguing enough to want to know what the fuck's gonna happen. The anticipation level's already at 1,000%. But it always helps to make it easier to digest visually.
For
My
sure.
bad, y'all. I'm just critiquing a little. That's my little
No,
critique.
welcome, Lee.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Awesome, man. Like we're gonna close out in a minute, so I wanted to get your guys' favorite stories that you guys both had from this whole experience. If you had one in particular that really stands out to you.
Dan, go first, man, because I got to think about that one. That's a good
Shit,
question.
Favorite experience, probably probably catching probably my favorite experience is like the Logan story and just I mean experience within one time probably Logan's story or my personal story, but just hearing people like message me and stuff saying, you know, you caught my predator, like, you know, stuff like that. Those are the best like moments.
Yeah.
I really got to second that, man. I was thinking you were just saying what I was thinking. It's just the overall like community of people that like look to you as like a guy that can like help. Like just people say these videos are therapeutic, and like it says that they say that it helps them, you know. And I've never wrote nobody like I like your video so much, you know what I mean? Like I've never like so like for people to do that to me, I never commented even on a YouTube video before I made the YouTube. So I'm now just getting into all this stuff, and just they got me into it. Just like reaching out to just all the people and friends that I made over like this whole experience, and just like the impact that we've been able to create, and just the legacy that I think we both created for ourselves. Like if we do get shot by a predator or whatever, like tomorrow, you know what I mean? I'm pretty comfortable with like, we got a lot of those motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I like being comfortable. Like I'm just really comfortable with my life, you know what I mean? So like that's my greatest experience with it, you know?
Also, when predators don't give us what they want, like if we're in their face, like, you know, this is you, and they're like, no, that's not me, and we see they're about to get in their car, like sometimes we gotta fuck them up. Like Josh will headbutt them motherfuckers. Like that's the best. That's also some of the best shit too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
For
like
sure.
the physical altercations a little bit. Like, you gotta beat the motherfucker. They're not gonna get their ass beat unless you guys do. They're lucky, bro, because if they go to jail anyway, they're getting their ass fucking destroyed. Right. But you guys are giving a little bit of nudge before that shit even, you know, if it doesn't even get to that point or whatever. And I'm sure people, man, like imagine you go home, like imagine you are that predator and you go home, and like your dad or your family's like, bro, you were just on the YouTube channel, and they're talking about you going to see a 13-year-old. You're gonna get fucked up by your family, bro. Like you're gonna get fucked up by a lot of people.
Wife's leaving your ass.
Oh yeah,
all the time. The wives,
leave, right?
the wives be leaving. Yeah.
How do you stop the? What advice would you give to the parents to stop this from happening in the first place?
You gotta be like, while you can, man, like take advantage of being that kid's phone is yours. You know what I mean? If you're paying the bill, Like, make sure you know what's going on your kids' phone. I mean, like, don't go through. I don't think you gotta go through their messages. Just be aware of like what they're doing. You know, just don't act so blind of like what's going on with your own life. Just pay attention. You know what I mean? Because this happens to a lot of kids where their parents are at work too much. You know what I mean? And they ain't got nothing to do, so they get on like these little chat rooms and stuff because they heard about it at school, and then like people tell us that story of them happening to them all the time, you know? And it's just, I think just being a good parent, you know, starts at just being a good parent and being there for your kid and knowing what's going on.
Sure.
I mean, that's cliche advice, but
no,
like,
it's the truth though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's not like a secret of like, get this app or like, you know what I mean? Just,
but I like how you said that though, because parents are like so occupied with their own lives sometimes they forget that the kids are gonna do something stupid one day.
Right.
Something as stupid enough as meeting somebody on a social media app like Grindr or fucking Tinder or whatever the fuck, just because.
Right.
And they get caught in these situations.
And it's, I mean, for kids, I think they have to just be educated early that there's these bad people, you know, to really be like, we gotta be. It's so like, what's the word, like. I can't think of the word right now, but just like it's so like hush hush about if somebody get, like, we all know people that's got molested, so like they don't, it's like people don't want to talk about it, but it's so casual how it happens. Yeah, taboo. Thank you. It's like so taboo to talk about, but like it happens just as much as car crashes happen. You know what I mean? So we think of how much we take car crash serious. We got insurance companies like making billions of dollars off of car crashes because of how frequent it is. Like, a child getting molested is just that frequent. You know what I mean? So, like, let's figure out a way to, like, make that number one.
Talk
you know
about it
mean?
more.
Talk about it more.
Yeah.
And everybody, like, if it happens to, like, if somebody does it, they don't want to talk, like, they don't want to tell people it happened to my kid. You know what I mean? And it's the family secret. And everybody's got these family secrets. And it's just, everybody thinks they're alone. You know what I mean? But they're not. And there's a lot of people out there, and I've talked to them, you know.
Yeah.
So like, I think people learning that and just like knowing how many times it's happened to them makes people be more aware. You know,
like you said at the beginning, like these scenarios are like looking at it from another side. It's like, dang, these guys are yelling and like, what are they doing? Like, we cause a lot of emotion. You know, sometimes things happen, but like ultimately. The awareness is, hey, someone was here to pick up a kid today. Yeah. So everybody at that Kroger's,
like,
everybody at Kroger's knows.
It would have been quiet. That kid would have left with Jada quietly with his little cane, like him leading a boy. How creepy would have that looked? But he would have got away with it. Nobody would have stopped him.
Who knows how many times he's done it before? Especially how confidently he comes into the situation, you expect it. So you guys are like stopping these motherfuckers from proceeding, man. It's just really, man. Like I said, this was really exciting for me because it's something people don't think about too often. But just like you said, every 9 seconds you said something like that is the statistic behind how often a kid's getting molested, and we get to bring that to people's awareness. And you guys are obviously dominating around that right now. You guys got like over 100,000 YouTube followers that are already supporting you. I'm sure if you guys started a Reddit blog, that would fucking explode. Yeah, you gotta. If you were on Reddit, bro, like you'd probably be the next Chris. They'd probably just they'd pull his flag down and put you guys up there. Yeah, because that's where it all circulates, man. That's where it's at. But yeah, man, you guys are dominating already. But like just to add on to it, you know, always adding on to it. But really, it was awesome talking to you guys, man. It was really good to get educated about this. I did not know how often that was happening. You guys are stopping it, and you guys are making sure that this shit doesn't continue in these local areas and even broader than that. But hopefully more people do what you do, even though it's a dangerous ass field. I mean, it's dangerous.
I always say, like, everybody should be like, there should be a little community patrol doing it. You know what I mean? It's not hard to do. You know?
And maybe the cops crack down on it, like you said. Like, where the fuck are you guys during out this whole process? They could be doing this.
Yeah.
It probably isn't that fucking hard. But I mean, not to say what you guys are.
No. It takes an iPhone and some nuts. You know what I mean? That's really it.
To orchestrate it for police was what I'm saying more. So like, they could probably orchestrate something that's like massive, where like this is just happening every second. We're catching a predator every fucking second.
Yeah.
Then everybody would totally be fucked. But at least you guys are adding to that fear and to stop this from happening. But I appreciate you guys for coming on. Please tell everybody how they can find you and all the social media platforms and however they can reach you guys.
Whoisdap.com. That's kind of how you contact us. We're D.A.P Inc. on YouTube, D.A.P 2K20 on Snapchat. It's the D.A.P Snap, and you get all kind of hit. He runs the Snapchat, I run the Instagram. That's D.A.P 2K20 on Instagram. We got a Patreon for all those other shit that we was talking about, and that's that, man.
What's the Patreon? How much do you guys
So
normally...
for $5 you get like all the videos early. $15 you get all that stuff early. 20% discount on merch, and like you get to FaceTime. Like people be wanting to FaceTime me. It's crazy. I didn't know. Like my friend put that in there, and I was kind of like, oh, nobody's gonna want to do that. But people be wanting to do that. So that's been like crazy doing that. And then for 30, that's like you get all that stuff, and then you get like the fights.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna sign up right when I get out this bitch. I'm signing up for that shit. Me and Nick are both signing up for that. I'll cover your subscription, Nick. I'm excited for you guys, man. Thank you guys so much again for being on, man. Everybody, please go support them, because this is probably, if you're going to go to subscribe to any Patreon, most of them are just entertaining you, but this is actually for a greater cause. These guys are literally stopping pedophiles in their fucking tracks. They're scaring off the rest of the guys that even try to attempt to do this bullshit in the fucking first place. You guys are fucking superheroes, like I said, man. Thank you guys so much, man. Vantage Photo behind the camera. We're at Parallel Sound Studio. We are out. Peace.